Hello, I'm Michael Climbs and I'm acting editor of Money Marketing. And in this weekend essay podcast, digital content manager Kimberley Dondo asks how close should financial advisors be to their clients? Take it away, Kim.
I have recently found myself obsessed with the I the Ahole sub on the website Reddit. For those who may not be aware, it's where the lost and confused go to ask their fellow Redditors if they may be in the wrong in a particular situation. Most of the stories I have read vary from familial issues, relationship woes, and financial difficulties, to which anyone can impart their advice, whether it be good or bad. One post that piqued my interest recently revolved around a young woman who was concerned her parents had developed an unhealthy codependent relationship with their financial advisor. The young woman posting was concerned that her parents' financial advisor was involved in too many of their financial decisions. These included what car to buy her when she turned 16, and when she reached university age, the advisor was also involved in the decision about paying for her college tuition. She had other instances which didn't involve her personally, but would result in the parents turning to their advisor for guidance. Generally, we hear about codependency in relation to romantic relationships, but it can manifest in professional relationships too. Jonathan Becker, assistant professor of clinical psychiatry at Vanderbilt University, states that codependency really means any relationship in which two people become so invested with each other that they can't function independently anymore. Your mood, happiness, and identity are defined by the other person. In a codependent relationship, there is usually one person who's more passive and can't make decisions for themselves, and a more dominant personality who gets some reward and satisfaction from controlling the other person and making decisions about how they live. In this particular situation, it's clear to me the advisor was gaining great satisfaction and control from the reliance their clients had on them. The power dynamics at play were clearly unbalanced. This led me to wonder, how close should financial advisors get to their clients? In my podcast series, In Conversation With, I've spoken to advisors about their journeys into financial services, and while all their stories vary, one thing that resonates from each conversation I have had is the importance of building and maintaining a rapport with their clients. Emmanuel Asuko expressed this importance as, they may be telling you things they won't share with their partners or children. Being in that position means advisors walk a fine line between personal and professional. I've always been someone who chooses to maintain boundaries in professional relationships. It may be a cultural thing, but I was always taught to keep certain aspects of my life to myself. During my time teaching in South Korea, I did face some culture shock when I saw how the teachers and students interacted. Teachers had their students on social media as well as their personal mobile numbers. No one seemed to think it was inappropriate, and while it seemed to help the teachers cultivate a bond with their students, we have all read the countless stories of how overstepping these boundaries can go horribly wrong. I personally chose to keep my relationship with my students in the school until I left and no longer had that role. Now I'm happy to catch up with them and see them grow from afar, while also keeping those boundaries. I understand how easy it can be to fall into a codependent relationship. Champion Health's financial well-being statistics found that financial pressure is the top cause of stress outside of work. Finding someone with the knowledge to alleviate this stress could lead to a reliance and second-guessing your own personal financial decisions. I think ultimately, as James Taylor, managing director at Taylor Financial Management, stated in a recent podcast episode, clients need to know you're there for them. If they have questions, of course you're going to help them, but you have to manage expectations. If it gets to the point where they're asking you about every single financial decision, you just have to let them know from the outset you're just there to advise, to consult, not make the decision for them. And I make that perfectly clear. Financial advice is just that, advice. Advisors aren't making the decisions for their clients, and from the conversations I have had, I think clients are made fully aware of that. This is the only way to prevent any lines being blurred. Thank you for listening to the Money Marketing Podcast. We do hope that you enjoyed it. Please do keep up to date with all our new releases via Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts from. You can also keep up to date with all our new content published on the Money Marketing website, as well as our print edition Money Marketing magazine, so make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. See you next time.